Hey guys, TinierTim here for another episode of our Motivational Monday episode. First of all, I want to thank you guys for all of the great feedback I've been getting about doing these. I'm going to continue doing them for the foreseeable future. If there are certain topics that you'd like to cover or certain questions that you have, I'd love to hear back from you. Today I'm actually going to be bringing you a book report. I believe in training myself mentally the same way that I train myself physically, and I will typically read anywhere from 6 to 8 books a month on various subjects. And today I want to talk about the book, How Bad Do You Want It by Matt Fitzgerald. I heard a great interview with Matt, and I was really interested in the premise of his book, which is that the way that we perceive mental or physical exertion mentally will affect how we perform that thing physically. And I thought a lot of the things that he communicates in this book have a lot to do with weight loss, especially the mental side of our journey. Matt Fitzgerald teaches us 3 things about how we exercise and how we move, and how our head game may actually take us away from some of those things. Now, the first thing that I learned in this book is that your faith in your training regimen is as important as the training regimen itself. Let me give you an example. There's a lot of placebo effect stuff that happens as it pertains to weight loss. We get these new products, these new shakes, these new pills, we're trying the latest thing, and the weight comes off of us. When we believe in the things that we are doing, we're more likely to be successful in those things, even if they're not as effective. When people ask me, what should I do in the gym? I always tell them to do whatever will make them go back. You know, I think that we obsess over what is the most effective way to lose weight, when in reality, we should be looking for the thing that we'll actually do consistently. So when it comes to exercise, if you were to pick the perfect workout, what would the perfect workout look like for fat loss? It may not be something that excites you. I tried to run early on, but I hated running. I hated it. It wasn't fun for me. And then I found martial arts, and that was an amazing cardio exercise. I was burning maybe a little bit less than I would in a running workout, but I loved it and it kept me going back. So that was the best workout. Now, the second principle that Matt Fitzgerald teaches is that the only way to improve physical performance is to improve the way that we perceive the exertion around that performance. In other words, the best way to get better at something is to make us think that it's less hard. Now, in some cases, as we continue to do a thing, we get better at it, and in reality, our skill set around it becomes stronger, more fine-tuned, and we're able to do it better. But in a lot of cases, if we can just believe that it's becoming easier, it actually becomes easier. There have been a lot of scientific studies that have shown kids, and they give them a test over a certain subject that is built for them to pass, built for them to succeed. And they get good at it, they pass the test, they ace it, and they get told, hey, you know what, you're a math person, you're really great at math. And then they give them a math test, and they'll perform 10 to 15% better than someone who thinks that they're bad at math. When in reality, neither of those things had any basis in fact. They basically set them up to win, and then because they won, they thought that they were better and they performed at a higher level. In actuality, they were no more skilled, they were no more intelligent, their IQ wasn't higher, but because they thought they were better at it, they became better at it. I'll tell you, this manifests itself for me on the dance floor. In my head, I'm the greatest dancer on earth. You do not want to see what it really looks like when I get out there though. But I'm having a blast, and it's a great time, and you know what? Someone that thinks they're good at dancing a lot of times looks like they're good at dancing, even when they're really not, i.e. me. Number 3, Matt Fitzgerald teaches us that mental toughness is even more important than physical toughness. I think about that basketball game where Michael Jordan had the flu and he went out there and he lit up the other team. He just went hog wild on them. And what happened there is his mental toughness was so strong, even though his physical toughness was lagging, he was able to perform at a higher mental level. So how do you get into a mentally tough state to get into the gym? Or in the case of eating right, how do you get into a mentally tough state where you're stronger than the cravings, you're stronger than the desire to binge? So if we actually exhibit these first 2 tendencies, we're able to have faith in our nutrition plan, and we're able to improve performance by changing the way that we perceive the toughness of the task in front of us. In other words, we start using language like, this meal plan is not hard. Eating a lot of vegetables isn't difficult. I love vegetables. All of a sudden, our ability to perform that task will improve. Our mental toughness is growing. our exertion feels like it's less than otherwise before, and we believe that what we're doing is actually going to help us. So can you do those 3 things this week? Can you, number 1, have faith in what you're doing is actually going to get you to your results? Number 2, can you believe that it's not as tough as you think it is? And number 3, can you believe that you are tougher than you in actuality are? In some cases, you might be faking it until you make it, but I have a secret for you. Your training program is working. You are strong enough to do this thing, and it's not that hard. You've got it. I put this out last week over Snapchat that we kind of live in this credit card mentality where we want the results now and we'll pay for them later. Because that's how we're used to paying for furniture. You know, that's how we bought our TV, right? I bought my TV, no interest for 24 months. I got to enjoy it. By the time I was paying $800 a month for a $500 TV, I'd had it for 2 years and everything was good. Your body doesn't work that way. You've got to pay the price now, and then you get to live the rest of your life as a champion. You want abs? You got to get your butt in the gym. And that's how this thing works, and you deserve it. You can handle it. It's not that hard. Do you believe it? Make it happen. And that's what'll make today motivational and magic. We'll see you next week.